Hello, thank you for tuning in with me today. I'm just gonna try to review a couple quick things. We're gonna sit here, we're gonna have a good time. You know, I'm going to do what I do because whoever tunes out, and they miss the blessing that I've been brought here to give. Um, so today, what we're going to do is we're going to get into the topic of the shadow of good things to come. And I'm also going to take you guys into the super gospel. Now, this is just going to be pretty much to the best of my ability, a quick video on the information you need, these keys that unlock information. So you need this one for the law. What is the law he's referring to? This is Hebrews 10:13 KJV. It says, for the law having a shadow of good things to come. So the law is these 10 commandments. And all those protect you so that if you do just those 10 commandments and you do them to the T, you get blessed with different levels of information, because you got to keep reading it. God is the God of keep studying, keep reading. Find me, find me. I'm in these words. They hid me in these words. Find me. So that's what we're doing now. I'm pointing them out. So it says for the law. So now you know when you hear about the law, it's basically those 10 commandments having a shadow of good things to come. So what is this shadow? The shadow that's being referred to in this instance, and you're going to need this because I'm probably going to part it off into two separate videos, or I might just continue on and make it a long video. We'll see. But the shadow is the definitions on the words. What happened is when you're in spiritual form, you use different definitions. That's how I know what a shadow is in this case, on the words. So a shadow would be a fire. You call this fire. God don't call this fire. This is fire in earth definition, not spiritual definition. Fire in earth definition is the tongue. This definition that I just gave you of fire is part of the fire. It's a tongue, it's a language, it's a heavenly language. So we're going to move on. So remember, this is not what we're referring to what I'll tell you what I'm referring to as we go along. And not the very image of the things. Now, you don't know who not is, so that's fine. We're not going to go too deep into, because it said and not the very image of the thing. So he's telling you not is the very image of the thing. But we'll go down that road later. Now, the other key that you have is the image. You broke a 10 commandment when you put an image, an engraven image on things. The words that we say, you calling this fire is literally an engraven image on a thing. You saying that this is a lighter is an engraven image on a thing. You saying that it's blue is an engraven image on a thing. Because people read, but they don't comprehend what they're reading. So this is why a lot of you aren't allowed to receive the knowledge that you're supposed to be getting, which would in turn save us all down here, and we'd be doing things the right way. I'm not even going down this road, but let's carry on. So once you give these words images, you can't find God at that point. You'll never see him. You can't even, you're left to your vain imagination at thinking, God's Superman or Power Ranger or Incredible Hulk abilities. You say, what can God do? Whatever you want. Okay, why? Because he's God. Okay, he's trying to make you God. So if you're in turn supposed to be him, you're supposed to be able to do whatever he can do, right? All right. Well, I'll tell you this. I'm in the image of him when I use these words. That's what he mean by I am in the Father and the Father is in me. When you use the words the way God using these words, then you get an outlook on the world of how the world should be. Through God's eyes, not through your eyes anymore, because your eyes was the eyes of, you know, what you was born with. And when I say your eyes, your mind, the way your mind sees things is an eye. So the way your mind was responding to this being fire, because this is what we was taught from fire as a kid. This is the sin we're born into, is believing that this is fire because we gave it an image. Satan gave it an image. And all the fallen have given things images. So all I'm trying to do is help remove the images so you can find out this information on your own, because the books are there. I'm a virgin birth. I was not taught this by anybody. The Father himself had Jesus teach me this, because the Father himself taught Jesus this. I don't care what you call him. You could call him cell phone for all I care. As long as when you read the book, the entity who's in that placeholder, you're doing exactly what that entity is telling you, or whatever word you want to put there is a number, whatever you want to put there is telling you, you'll be okay, because it's about the words. Everybody is focused on all of the wrong things when it's about the word. So that's what he's saying, and not the very image of the things, because in not the earth definition, which is female, is the very image of the things. Like this, it's a whole language. I mean, you speak English. It's you, whatever language you speaking in, you can get this only from the KJV. You can get these definitions in your language from reading. So you don't need a teacher, because the book is here to teach you. All you have to do is adhere to what it's teaching you. So if we move down to the next one, it says, can never, with those sacrifices which they offer year by year continually. Now, what sacrifices? The sacrifices that's given in all the holy days and to make up for sin. None of that could ever save you, because what you're doing is judging yourself. God say, go bring me a vessel full of fire, and you go bring him one of these and do this. You judge yourself by not knowing what he asked you for. That's how judgment day is going to go. Everybody, and you can't teach somebody this overnight. This is something that takes time to learn. So when that time comes, they're going to know who know and who don't know. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Like, it's going to be simple. Bring me a vessel of water. Bring me a vessel of wine. Bring me a bowl. Go find me a cloud. Go grab me an ass. Like, go get me a lion. Get me a bear. What you show up with tells me what you know. This is how Judgment Day is going to go. And you're going to be I'm not going to be sitting there looking stupid, because God made me the way I am. He made me like him. I don't care what nobody say. He made me like him by knowing what he knows. It's like if I adopt you and I bring you into my house, you got to know how I speak when I'm in my house. I don't talk, professional in my house, like when I'm at work and I'm doing sales or something like that. I don't speak that way. So in turn, when I'm at home, you need to speak like me. The way I talk, if I say nigga this, nigga that, whatever, I don't care what they do. They're never going to pay me off of a video. This is method to my madness. But if you do stuff, if that's the way I talk, you won't, and you know that before you come into my house, then you know my rules and regulations when you come in the house and you're around me, what to expect when you're around me. That's what's being taught here. So everything that you know, or that you think you know from being a kid or anything like that, you gotta throw that shit in the trash. Everything. You gotta throw it, wrap it all up in a nice, comfy little, cute little fucking ball and throw that shit in the trash. It's no good. Everything that you've ever been taught was a sin, this, that, and the third. All of that is a lie. Why? Because it's built on oppression. That shadow is an oppression shadow because the wrath of God is darkness. So if you don't know what you really supposed to be doing, who you really are, what you guys call planets you actually came from to end up in this place where my God is the ultimate end all be all ruler, then that's because you lack the ability to study. You lack the ability to study. So, since you lack the ability, I'm going to come out. I'm going to talk trash because this is what I do. This is me being me. I ain't going to sit here, be no phony dude standing up in front of a pulpit waiting for people to throw money down at my feet or waiting for them to say praises, call me brother, this, that, and the third. No, because none of you MFers are my brother. I'll tell you that to your face. None of you are my brother. And if you really know what that means, then you know what that means, and you are my brother. But if you no, none of you are my brother. So all of these houses, and I'm actually going to do. This is why the super gospel is not in any of you guys' Bible. It's a reason why it's not in there. So we're going to go ahead and finish this up, and then we're going to carry on over there to the super gospel. So that you guys can see what's really going on. And I'm going to break it down and explain it because the way it's done. Let's finish this and then I'll explain that. So those sacrifices, year by year, y'all sacrificing goats and lambs and this, that, and the third. Y'all actually going out getting literal animals. If Jesus was a lamb and Jesus was a lion of the tribe of Judah, why is y'all not figuring out that these beings were people? Well, why aren't y'all drawing from context clues that these beings? You saw an ass get up and talk. When on the planet did you see what we call an ass get up and talk? But when you know my father, you know asses of the house of Issachar, and lions of the tribe of Judah. Like this is how the Bible turned out to make sense. And all of the stuff that we thought was mythology and fake turned out to be actually real. Even all of the epics and the epic of Gilgamesh, the Emerald, the Enuma Elish, if I could say that right. Yeah, I'll go through my playlist so that you guys can start going through these other books too, because this is where you get the truth from. You got to get it out of this book first. This is why Jesus said, how can I tell you of things of heaven when you don't understand the things that I'm telling you now about the earth? The earth is the definitions that I'm using to talk to you right now. When I turn to spirit, you'll know I turn to spirit because I'm going to give you the definition, which is the spirit of that word. Just like the word Christmas has a spirit. When somebody say Christmas, what do you think of? Wreaths, Santa, elves, reindeer, snow, so on, etc. This is the same as if you say Halloween. Spirits come along with that. Those spirits are pumpkins, bats, witches, Halloween costumes, candy, trick-or-treats. That's all that's going on here. But the way God cursed the world, the wrath of God is to darken the land. The land is the words that we use. That's our foundations. So when God darkens these foundations, we're left with the definitions that we have today. That has us doing everything all wrong. All wrong. So that's why he said they could never hold on, where are we? Can never, with those sacrifices which they offer year by year continually, make the comers thereunto perfect. Because you keep bringing me the wrong shit. I'm asking you to bring these things for a sacrifice, and you got a fucking goat here. And then you're like, what do we do now? Well, he said cook it, mingle it with the oil. Da, 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 da. Y'all don't know what they doing. They're not cooking food. They're rewriting these words and giving them definitions. That's what they're supposed to be doing, but since they're in error because of, man, y'all don't even know the serpent is. Y'all don't know what that is. The dragon, y'all don't know what that is. Like, it's, look, man, we just going to get into it. Okay, so with this part being over, and this was said more than once about for the law being having a shadow, or you'll read about a couple scriptures more about some shadows in Colossians. You'll read about the shadow, and you know what? This one's okay. It says this is Colossians 2:17. Well, you guys can see it, I hope. If not, I'm doing something wrong. So you see, it says clearly, which are the shadow of things to come, but the body is of Christ. Okay. Now the shadow is me. I'm the no, I'm not the shadow anymore. The shadow was me before I turned into who I am now. Because once you get the definitions, you're not the shadow anymore. You came to the light. So now y'all still the shadow of things that you aspire to be and that you'll never be because you get trapped in the traps, prosperity preaching. You find a little bit of truth and run away with it, so on, etc. But hold on, let's go into this chapter because this didn't really put things into context. That was 17. So at least let's see what's above it. It says, let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of any holy day. Holiday. Or, no, that is holy day. Sorry. Or of the new moon or of the Sabbath days. Now, obviously, he not talking to y'all, but he's talking to me because I don't do these things anymore. To do these things is to put people in the jail, kill their spirit, so on, etc. So people often ask me, this is what they was, what you eating, what you drinking. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys what I eat and what I drink. Hopefully I don't hit the wrong buttons over here. Let's go over here. So I eat and drink all of this stuff because my father sent me to people who can relate to me, and there's other ones out there that he sent to who can relate to people more like them. But since I'm from a stiff-necked, hard-headed people, and my exterior is like his, I'm rough. I'm not here to save people that's holy, but surely you have your saving because those are still my words as well. So yeah, you're judged if you're in that house. This is your judgment on you. Y'all, everyone is waiting for a specific day to happen upon you or to happen upon the world. No, everyone is judged individually all the time. Every time you open your mouth or set a thought upon a thing with the wrong definition on it, you are judged. It is what it is. Some people get judged to be so cursed that they blessed in this world with, things of fame and fortune, so on, etc. Um, and then you have some who are judge themselves to where they serve houses until they very well die, whether it's a workhouse or a religious house or a governmental official's position or whatever house you prefer to go into. So as I'm speaking, I'm expecting you guys to learn things from context clues. Just from what I'm saying, you can assure definitions that I'm using are going to be correct because they tell the truth of everything. At the end of the day, these definitions allow you to go into, where are we? Oh, there we go. Let's do these. Because I just now am starting to put them into a list. But you got the Enuma Elish, the Tablets of Thoth. Um, how that? Okay, you got history with my buddy Sai. That's that's a good study. But what he does is he allows you to put, see, you're judged in heaven and earth. That's how judgment is going to be done. So the witness is heaven and earth against the things that we do down here. Now the witness being the earthly definitions, the way we speak every day. They witness against us. But like when I say, if you bring me this, when I say bring me a vessel of fire, and you bring me this, that's what I mean. This is earthly. But if you bring somebody like me who can then translate the earthly, which is an intermediary, which is somebody who just steps in to translate, say, hey, um, what God is really looking for is someone like me to come translate between his definitions and the earthly definitions. So that's how the world witnesses, I mean, earth, heaven, and earth judges you. That's how it's witnessing against you. This is how you can't get from under it, because these is the words. That's how powerful God is. He used, you can't communicate in any other language and not still find him. You can make words up and still find him. As long as you write a Bible in that language, you will find him. Because there's no way around it. Damn, God is powerful. And like me right now, I'm being judged all day, every day because of my level of knowledge. Who cares? Nobody talks to me. It's not like I go out in the streets and I say, hey, I'm going to beat you over the head with this. No, that's not what I do at all. I don't pretty much particularly care either way what you're doing with yourself, because um, I got mine. You got to get yours. You can only save yourself. And all I can do is make a video about it every now and again. So I'm going to try to keep this energy, and I'm going to go on to the next video.